play through it.
First down on the 41 and hit from behind is Palmer. Ball is jarred loose and picked up by the lineman Levi Brown. And Brown, the left tackle, alertly picks it up, and it was Robert Quinn who had 10.5 sacks last year for the Rams. First sack of the game.
This is going to be one of the issues, one of the key matchups of the day. It was going to be Levi Brown on Robert Quinn. And early in this matchup, got to give the advantage to Quinn. Quinn had a monster game last year in the first month all the way around.
Now it's 3rd and long. And Carson Palmer holds on to the ball, but Quinn gets to him again. And a flag is down at the 30-yard line. So a penalty is down. Flag is down. 9-yard loss on the play.
You see Levi Brown here has no chance. You know, he struggled a little bit in preseason too, Dick. I know they're worried about their protection here, but right now Robert Quinn was turning.
Here's Palmer, who needs 9 yards, gets hit. Ball is knocked loose. Robert Quinn, who has had a phenomenal game, getting to Carson Palmer. Ball is jarred loose. And it's going to be recovered by the Rams.
Series of the game. See Levi Brown here. Speed rush. Hand usage by Robert Quinn goes right by him. Gets a sack fumble. Great defensive end. He is certainly coming into his own now. There's not going to be a lot of people.
Falcons must get to the 37 for a first down. Ryan in trouble. Down he goes. Wall with the initial pressure, and then Robert Quinn, who had 3 sacks last week, takes Ryan down back at the 21-yard line.
Well, you can't protect both edges. Very difficult to do that. They've got Jaquiz Rogers to Chris Long side. That means that on the backside, you're going to be one-on-one. Sam Baker versus Robert Quinn.
Nice pressure also by Kendall Langford. 2 receptions. From the 42, it's Rogers. And he runs into the arms of Robert Quinn.
Kaepernick, straight drop, now rolling and trying to get away, and he won't. Not from Robert Quinn. Sacked back at the 10-yard line. And a little bit of Kaepernick there with a kiss of the bicep.
And Kaepernick's a one-look guy. Watch what happens here. There's a bust. Miller is uncovered, but Kaepernick drops back, doesn't see it. It's wide open, and as soon as he sees pressure, he's getting out. But let me tell you something. Robert Quinn, one of the most gifted edge rushers in the entire league, tries to strip it. Kaepernick does a pretty good job just holding him.
Each and every Sunday, you can't call him anymore. You got to sit and wait and react.
Ball's out as Yates gets hammered. Looks like the Texans are on top of it, and that pretty much describes the day for the Texans. 2nd down and 11 after the 1-yard loss, and this time Newton is going to throw it in the air. He's big enough to get away from trouble, but not big enough to get away from Robert Quinn, who has his 7th sack of the year, leading the NFC and 6th in the league.
Well, this athletic defensive line here, you can see Robert Quinn staying alive. Chris Long getting held just a little bit there on the edge, but the athleticism and the size of this defensive line of the St. Louis Rams is what Jeff Fisher is counting on.
Back in, 1st down and 10, and here is Williams. Nothing there. Robert Quinn, who has a sack and has been.
2 tight ends, 1 back. Marshawn Lynch net behind the line. Loss of 3. That's that mighty Quinn guy John was singing about. Robert. 3rd and 5. Doug Baldwin, the 3rd receiver, is in. Wilson is in trouble and is sacked by Quinn. So 2 tackles for loss by Robert Quinn, the 3rd-year man, 1st-round pick out of North Carolina.
That's how the Rams can win this game tonight. Contain Wilson in the pocket. Contain him. Make him stay in the pocket. Make that 5'11" status matter. There's nowhere for Wilson to go. The secondary buys time. And Robert Quinn, I'm telling you, Mike Tirico, is as dangerous as any pass rusher in this game.
Low snap, picked up, pressure up the middle on the stunt. It is Quinn, who has been the star of this first half.
The mighty Quinn is ridiculous. I think he's the most dangerous pass rusher I've seen on tape. It's an inside move. Nobody touches him. He's got long arms, tremendous strength. And Seattle can't block him.
Clock continues to run on the sack. No timeouts. Wilson is chased and sacked again by Quinn. 10 sacks in the first 8 games of the season by Quinn. And interestingly, the Rams here take a timeout and will force Seattle to punt with 12 seconds left. What a half here by Quinn.
Well, in all fairness to McQuiston, he needs help. This is a backup left tackle. He's playing with no help from anybody, and I don't know, man.
Ball is out. That is a fumble, and the Rams have it. Chris Long, I think he's going to make it in the end zone for a touchdown. And a salute to the troops.
This is going to be a career sack number for Robert Quinn coming off the edge. His 11th sack. He is going to be a major problem for Anthony Costanzo all day. Nothing but a speed rush. Watch him run the corner and then knock the ball out when he gets there. They tried it with 2. Doesn't matter. He knocks it out. Perfect bounce into Chris Long. That's the momentum that the St. Louis Rams needed. Big time play.
On 3rd down and 3. Another sack, and it's Robert Quinn. 2 in this game, adding to his career total.
Well, the great pass rushers, they can beat you in a multitude of ways. We know Robert Quinn is awesome on the speed. Watch him come up, show the speed, and then come underneath and just puts a beeline on the quarterback, Andrew.
Forte out of the backfield by Robert Quinn. And now the Rams will use a timeout.
Yeah, you allowed so much time to come off in between that first and second play, and you know, Robert Quinn now comes up and makes a big play, negative yardage on it, and oh hey, you know what, maybe we've got an opportunity to...
Down to 2:15 on the clock. And the ball's knocked away from the count by Robert Quinn. And Quinn, with his 13th sack, will take it in for a Rams defensive touchdown.
That defensive line has been relentless all day, getting pressure. It was only a matter of time before they came up with the big play.
The perseverance of Robert Quinn, I mean, how many times have we seen him close? He's working against Jermon Bushrod, one of the better left tackles in the league, but he's been close so many times, and when you've got a dominant edge rusher, you know, at certain points, you got to get somebody to release out that way, Tony. You got to help him out a little bit, get a chip,
help.
And they've kind of left Jermon out there on his own all day, been battling the whole time, but you could sense that it was just going to be a matter of time, and Robert Quinn was going to get home, and that time he does for a sack, fumble, and a
Breeze is going to go down. Robert Quinn with a sack. And the ball came out. Let's see if he's ruled down.
Mike Carey's calling for 4th down there. Robert Quinn is ridiculous in his get-off off the edge.
That's his 14th sack of the year, and Breeze got his own fumble back. It's a good thing he did to give the Saints at least a try here.
Incredibly electric coming off the line of scrimmage. Just watch the speed here of Robert Quinn and just right by Charles Brown. I mean, it's all about the get-off, then it's about the speed, and most importantly, Chris, it's about the ability to burst and finish. Once he sinks that arm under in, and
Breeze is in trouble, lost the football. The Rams have it. Robert Quinn forces another fumble. Comes out of it with Chris Long helping him.
Robert Quinn is unbelievable. Wait till you get a look at what he does here, taking the inside rush and then the desire to get to the quarterback. Watch him come crawling at Drew Brees and knock the football out. You got to see that from the...
2nd down and goal. Glennon in trouble, and down he goes in the arms of Robert Quinn. 16th sack of the year for Quinn.
Well, we said they needed to chip Quinn on every play. They didn't, and they paid the price for it. Donald Penn, with no help on the inside, gets beat on an inside rush. Overset to the outside like he thought the line was going to turn that way. Like we said, you try to go one-on-one with he and Chris Long, you're going to lose.
Get up to the 46-yard line. Lennon dropped by Quinn.
Who else?
Who has just tied Kevin Carter's St. Louis Rams franchise record with his 17th sack of the season.
Right down here, and they don't have a chance to get any help to him. Rainey's trying to chip him a little bit. He just spins to the inside. Excuse me, that was Leonard trying to help Chip. He just spins to the inside. Mike Lennon waiting for anybody to come open. Sometimes those chips are not much help. He just knocked Quinn back to the inside and gave him a free angle to Mike Lennon.
Third down. And again it is Quinn, and there's a record. His third sack of the day. His fifth in the last 2 games. That's 18 on the year. And he breaks the St. Louis Rams record held by Kevin Carter. Sacks in a single season.
Well, winning record or not, Defensive Player of the Year, Kevin Quinn, or excuse me, Robert Quinn.
Russell Wilson looks to throw. He's scrambling around, and he's going to go down at the 10-yard line. It's another sack for Robert Quinn. 19th of the season. He's a half sack behind Mathis for the NFL lead.
First, you're going to get good pressure there by Chris Long. Then Quinn just really keeps his motor running as Russell Wilson steps up in the pocket. Robert Quinn just keeps going. And that's the thing about him now. He can turn the corner. He can get your edge.